And I know, look, transgender people, small proportion of the population, so of course they're never going to be like a majority of women playing in women's sports. Wouldn't it be fair, or do you think it would be unfair if it happened to end up eventually being the case that transgender women took first, second, third place across all of women's sports? You don't think that wouldn't raise in your head like any sort of red flag as to like an completely unfair disadvantage?
Maybe it would, but that's not what's happening, because estrogen does make, like estrogen supplements that trans women take does make them weaker.
So just to be clear, you think the only difference between males and females is the
testosterone?
No, it's the endocrine system. You think all it takes to become a woman is to make to do a chemical change to your endocrine system?
That is a big leap from what I said, and I did not make that claim.
Well, you said estrogen.
Well, estrogen does make trans women weaker. So as they are taking those supplements, it is not like a man competing against a woman. It is not the same thing. Well, it's still
a male competing against a female, but so you think that there's no verifiable differences in strength?
I did not say that either. We're jumping to extremes.
Well, you're referencing estrogen.
Yes.
So okay, then it is your position that trans women still maintain male strength, I guess.
To some extent. My argument here is, do trans women have an advantage in certain sports? Keep in mind, strength is not always the only deciding sports. Not necessarily.
You do realize that men outcompete women in every single sport there is. The only one, there's, I believe, one specific long distance event where
the skiing
women,
one? The skiing one where they look kind of silly? Is that what we're talking about?
No, there's a long distance running event where women just slightly will out-edge men. So women apparently have like some advantage in one specific event. If you look at all Olympic events, you look at, fighting, she's a boxer, for example, women just can't compete with men.
So on that note, I would like to say there are gymnastic skills that men can't even compete in, that they don't compete in the Olympics. There are gymnastic skills that women don't even compete in because they are tailored to their strengths. So, I mean, to say that a trans woman would dominate in women's gymnastics is absurd. They would not. They would have a huge disadvantage.
Sure. I'm going to go ahead and grant that there are certain gymnastics things that women do, men do. For example, I don't know what the move is. I don't know if anybody's familiar with gymnastics, like the one where men do the cross, or
there are things all across the board,
or whatever. Women just don't have the physical capacity, even trained gymnasts, to do certain upper body maneuvers that male gymnasts can do. So, but I'll go ahead and grant that, yes. How about the other 99% of athletic endeavors where men completely would dominate women if they were to compete together?
Okay, I'd like to pose a question. Could I ask?
No. Answer my question first, then pose your question.
Okay, my response to that is every single individual has different genetic advantages and disadvantages, some more extreme than others. It has never been in conversation before. It has never been a question of who naturally has the biggest lung capacity in swimming, because we can't measure things like that, and it's not.
Yes, we can.
Well, okay, sure, we can. Yes, that's actually a great point. Okay, we can. No, I mean individual to individual. Can we determine Michael Phelps's lung capacity compared to a different Olympian and then claim whether or not he was born with an advantage or not? Those things have never mattered before. We've never posed those questions because we understand that humans are biologically always going to be different and have different strengths and weaknesses. It only becomes a problem when people don't want transgender people competing.
But men are physically stronger than women, and men have certain physiological characteristics that make them better athletes.
Sure, and certain men are able to gain muscle easier because of their genetics than other men.
Yes, some men have, but my argument would be, when you're looking at elite athletes, the best male athletes will always predominate over the best female athletes. You have a woman who used to play in the WNBA. If LeBron James played in the WNBA, he could probably fucking play solo against the WNBA and fucking smoke him.
Yeah, this is the question I would actually like to pose. In the WNBA, I'm assuming that you are competing with women who weren't all your exact height. Can we make that assumption?
Yeah.
Do you know, generally the lower end of that scale?
This is
Give me
irrelevant.
a guess. It's okay.
This is irrelevant, but probably 5'6" to 6'8".
If you were to do a 1v1 match with a 5'6" woman, do you think that you would have a genetic advantage?
Maybe, maybe not in some ways, because she probably would be quicker in some ways.
Wait.
But that is not, she's going to be quicker in some ways, but that's not the question. The question is, I'm a 6'6" female, right? I have been the best of the best at every level since high school. When I was the best of the best in high school, what did I do? I went down to the rec and I played against average guys. Why? Because they were stronger than me, they were faster than me, they were bigger than me, but they could compete against me. Even though I was the best of the best, they were average guys. The best of the best women's college basketball teams, they compete against average guys. They practice against average guys. Why? Because the guys make us better. Same with the pros. We compete against not pro guys, average guys. Why? Because they're stronger, faster, and they make us better.
So one thing related to that, so if she was competing against a 5'8" professional male NBA player, that even though you're 6'6", that 5'8" player would probably beat her. I mean, look, basketball's a team game, but like in a one-on-one. So currently, I just Googled this. The shortest player currently in the NWA. That's a fucking, what the fuck? NBA, excuse me. I'm thinking about rap for some reason. The shortest player currently in the NBA is Yuki Kawamura of the Memphis Grizzlies. He's 5'8". He would beat, like, she's retired, right? He would beat probably the best female NBA player. I don't care how tall she is. Men and women are just built different. Like men and women, and we see this in not just the NBA, we see this in soccer, for example, or football in Europe. They will take the women's national team here, the U.S. professional women's team. This is the most elite, best women's soccer players. They will compete against under 15 boy teams. So the best under 15. They will lose, shut out, like 8-0. The boys will beat the professional adult women. We see this in all kinds of sports. Men are they're stronger.